Good afternoon, everyone. I am Joanne O'Brien, and I have the honour of delivering a tribute for the life of Sue-Ann Emily Jacobs today. I'd like to start with the text written by Reverend Sapphire Rose, if I may. She let go of the committee of indecision within her. She let go of all the right reasons, wholly and completely, without hesitation or worry. She just let go. She didn't ask anyone for advice. She didn't read a book on how to let go. She didn't search the scriptures. She just let go. She let go of all the memories that held her back. She let go of all of the anxiety that kept her from moving forward. She let go of the planning and all of the calculations about how to do it exactly right. She didn't promise to let go. She didn't journal about it. She didn't write the projected date in her date calendar. She made no public announcement, and she put no ad in the paper. She didn't check the weather report or read her daily horoscope. She just let go. She didn't analyse whether she should let go. She didn't call her friends to discuss the matter. She didn't do a 5-step spiritual mind treatment. She didn't call the prayer line. She didn't utter one word. She just let go. No one was around when it happened. There was no applause or congratulations. No one thanked her or praised her. No one noticed a thing. Like a leaf falling from a tree, she just let go. There was no effort. There was no struggle. It wasn't good, and it wasn't bad. It was what it was, and it is just that. In the space of letting go, she let it all be. A small smile came over her face. A light breeze blew through her hair, and the sun and moon shone forevermore. No regrets, just lessons. No worries, just acceptance. No expectations, just gratitude. Life is too short. Yes, Sue-Ann Jacobs' life was too short, and it is the reason we have all come together today. To show our gratitude for having had the opportunity to know her at all, and to appreciate the lessons that knowing her has taught us. Sue-Ann's family, her parents, Tracy and Peter, along with her sister and brother, Tanya and Michael, wish me to extend their thanks for making the time available to join them on this very tough day. Finding the strength to move forward in life is so incredibly hard after your child or sibling passes. When someone so young and vibrant decides to cut their time on earth short, it leaves everyone reeling and in despair, unable to fathom the pain that this person that must have been in, and the pain of their own grief. There can be such stigma attached to incredibly sad circumstances like these, heavily laden with blame and shame. This is such a hurtful waste of energy which permeates the overwhelming grief and leaves those left behind in an even more painful, blurred vortex of sorrow. Celine was so young, just 20 years old. She was a very beautiful young woman with her whole life ahead of her. Nobody can fully understand her reasons for leaving, but we know that she lost her zest for life and fell into despair when a string of random events befell her. She tried so hard, but did not have the strength to overcome the pessimism and despair. She was deeply impacted by the sudden death of her best friend, Evan, who passed for having been involved in a car accident. But rather than dwelling on unknowns of her choices, We need to focus on what we do know. That Sue-Ann had been a delightful little child who brought such joy and happiness to her whole family. She loved and was very much loved for all of her young life. She was precious and she was kind, clever and compassionate. She found joy in drawing and painting. As I understand, many of you have pieces of her artwork. She continued to produce even up to very recently. You may have picked up some of the prints of her work at the front door when you came in. There is a quote by Oscar Wilde: "Life imitates art more than art imitates life." What does this mean, and how might it apply to Sue-Ann? I think maybe it tells us about the fact that many people have truly little imagination for anything more than simply mimicking popular culture today. It was so obvious that from Sue-Ann's work that her prolific imagination flowed into her creative life. Sue-Ann's imagination was fundamental to integrating her experiences onto her canvases. Her art was beginning to be sought after on the open market after an exhibition of her works 18 months ago in Melbourne. It was totally awesome for such a young artist to be so recognised and sought after. However, with the happiness of acceptance in the art world, also came troubles. These descended as she tried to navigate the wider world. The big city life in Melbourne overcame her sensitive soul after Evan's death. Unbeknown to her family, her increasing despair at the state of the world, the irregularities, the corruption, the transgressions of society, she was struggling to keep herself buoyed. Losing Evan pushed her precariously close to the edge, but she still seemed to hang on. It was during this time of emotional conflict that friends say her heart seemed to be shattered. While it might have appeared that Sue-Ann had everything to live for, it probably didn't feel that way to her. Sue-Ann was very troubled and could not find her way out of the darkness and into the light. It's very hard to recover from extreme heartache. Sue-Ann could not, and now her family are struggling with their own. Alexandra Snow coined a phrase, "Hurt begets hurt, but so does healing." Those willing to look at you in all your pain and say, "There is peace on the other side," are the kind to hold fast to. If I can implore you to be available to each other, please do. Reach out and offer support to Sue-Ann's family, not just today, but in the days and weeks to come. Be there for each other and your communities at large. I can tell you firsthand how very saddening it is not to hear from people because they don't know what to say and they don't want you to be upset all over again by them saying something to you about the one you've lost. It is through the talking and the tears that we heal. I invite you, any of you who would like to share a few thoughts or memories about Sue-Ann and your relationship with her, to come up to the lectern and share them with us. Her best friends through high school, Colleen, Reed and Marnie Hooper, have asked to speak first. Will you come join us now, Colleen and Marnie?